Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to this special series about Ramadan from on Islam.net. I'm your host Maan Khalife, and I would like to talk to you about some Ramadan memories. It's from my own experience. So initially I would like to go back about 35 years. My first Ramadan that I spent in the West. And I happened to be in that at that time in a place that's a bit north, and Maghrib was about 9:30, while Fajr was about 3:15, 3:30 in the morning. So it was a long day. However, that wasn't a major issue, at least not for me. Alhamdulillah, at the time I was young, I could handle it. At that time we had the mosque wasn't really a mosque, it was an apartment. About 15 of us, we paid each one a little bit of money, and we rented an apartment, and we made it into a masjid. Alhamdulillah, many people used to come and pray with us, especially on Fridays. The place used to be full. On regular days, it's mostly 10 to 15 of us that used to come. And we were kind of stuck together. And during Ramadan, we did something special. Is that every evening, when we had to break our fast, we broke our fast at one of the person's place. So 15 of us, we had each one 2 days during the month that we had to host other people and offer them food. What we did is, when we had an imam, but the imam used to tell us that you are going to lead the prayer if it's your home. So each one experienced the leading of the prayer, and for a fact, it was the first time that I lead somebody in prayer. At that time I didn't, I wasn't very learned in Islam, but he said, you lead the prayer. So we all learned at least how to lead the prayer. We all broke fast together, and we prayed the Taraweeh prayers together. And that was a special Ramadan for me, because it was my first one outside from my home. After that, we had many beautiful Ramadans, especially when countries like EU to send us imams, and one occasion I remember they sent us 3 imams, and that was good for us and also good for them. They didn't have to stand a long time for prayers. They alternated, and they prayed the Taraweeh in a very nice and very relaxing way. Now, in the West, Taraweeh prayer is not that long. In many Muslim countries, maybe the Isha prayer with the Taraweeh could go from 2.5 hours to 3 hours. But in the West, we only prayed for about an hour, sometime including the Isha prayer. And in that hour, if we managed to finish one juz of the Quran, that's good. If we didn't, we had to complete it during the last 10 days of Ramadan. Now, during those last 10 days, we not only prayed the Taraweeh, at the beginning of the evening, we prayed only 8 rak'ahs, but also we prayed 4 additional rak'ahs in the last third of the night. And these were a bit longer than, the 4 rak'ahs were almost an hour, so about 15 minutes each rak'ah. And these were very very nice and very emotional, reading the Quran and pondering upon the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The final thing I want to mention is that the month of Ramadan, we have to encourage our youth, and our youth are the future of Islam. So we encourage them to come to the masjid, and many times we ask them to make i'tikaf in the masjid and give them lectures about Islam and talk to them about Islam. So if you have the opportunity in your community to do something like this, this is very rewarding. Collect the youth, invite them to the masjid, bring someone who's learned in Islam, let them, give them some lectures about Islam and teach them about Islam, and especially teach them about the benefits of Ramadan and Laylatul Qadr. I said the final thing, but I have one more thing. During Ramadan was something special that used to happen. You know, I had the experience to bury people in my community, because there weren't at that time people that were interested in doing that. Each one on their own, and in the West people are busy. So I used to do that on a volunteer basis. What's important here is that on the average I used to bury 1 or 2 people per month. But during the month of Ramadan, it was the busiest month, and about maybe 6 to 8 people during the month of Ramadan that used to pass away. And subhanAllah, I think it's a mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that these people have passed away in the month of Ramadan. It's His mercy that He showed us through like taking away people in that month, in this blessed month. And sometimes we can tell on the faces of these people, many of them were smiling. It is something that is glad tiding. We can say a glad tiding that inshallah these people will be the dwellers of the paradise, inshallah. Thank you for listening, and inshallah we'll meet again in another series. This was a series about memories of Ramadan from onislam.net. I'm your host again, Maan Khalife. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.